Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Legends of Vox Machina, Episode 2. Welcome back everyone. We're back 1 week later for more Vox Machina. The first episode still has not gone up on YouTube because I am struggling to figure out what I want to do for a thumbnail. Usually I'm just able to figure that out really quick and it just all comes together, but this time I'm having trouble with it because I don't know exactly what I want to do. So bear with me, the first episode will go up on YouTube soon. Welcome back for Episode 2, everybody. I'm excited for this. I'm hoping that this is going to start ramping up and getting more interesting. Not that Episode 1 wasn't interesting, but there are some concerns and some things about it that I don't super duper mega love, but I do enjoy. My general take from the first episode was, yeah, I enjoy this. I'm not sure if everybody will enjoy this. I'm not sure if people who aren't familiar with the source material will really be able to access it or get into it, but I think they did it, and the way that people are commenting on it makes me think that it's somewhere in the middle. So I want to start off by talking through some of the comments that I've got initially. These are just from Patreon members and also some things that have been talked about in the Discord, because I think they're interesting and at least will lead to some interesting discussions. So let's do that real quick. I want to start off by talking about a bit of a conversation that happened in the Discord. Some people saying that the episode felt very average and they would not watch it on their own, but then some people saying, and I'm not going to list names or whatever, but if you know that you posted this, then you know that you posted this, so that's okay. Some people saying that the consensus seems to be that the episodes where they start the table content, the stuff that actually happened at the table and are adapting it, versus writing new content are the better stuff. And so I'm looking forward to getting there. It seems to be around episode 3 when that's going to start, which is super exciting, but that's the part of the idea, and that makes all of the sense in the world to me, because to me, I think the magic of Dungeons and Dragons to a large extent is the improvised story beats and storylines and elements that come up at the table. To give a silly example, I'm running a pirate campaign right now. That's why I've got this big boat here. I'll be utilizing that tomorrow, and I'm not prepped at all for the session that we're going to be having tomorrow. It's terrifying. And I've decided to run the campaign as almost entirely improv, using lots of randomization and lots of insanity. But the end of last week's or last time's session of my pirate campaign, I improv'd inventing an entirely new race that I didn't expect to do. I thought that I was just going to do orcs that were being kind of captured and maybe turned into owned populations by an evil empire. And instead, I made them orchids. They are plantoid orc people who bloom in sunlight. Never seen that before, never done that before, made it up on the fly. Super excited to figure out where we're going to go with that and what my characters are going to do with it. But it's not something that I would have come up with sitting around thinking about what to write for my D&D campaign. It's something that just happened while I was a little bit drunk, dungeon mastering at my table, and it just occurred. That sort of magical stuff, the insanity of things that we all know and love that happen in Vox Machina and the other campaigns of Critical Role, I think is such a crucial part of the magic of Dungeons & Dragons, and I don't think that this pre-written stuff that is in the first episode really manages to capture that. And I think that there's some crossover between that conversation and some of the stuff that's going on in the comments. So somebody wrote, if I had to sum up in the show in one word, it would be immature. This is the most that's a D&D party thing that I've ever seen, which is true because it is, but at the same time, it is in a bad way. So the conversation goes on, random nudity and sex because horny bard, super in-your-face gore just for the sake of gore. It just feels so juvenile, which might have been a better word than immature. I'm not expecting high art, but I am expecting a bit more maturity. Now, I gotta be real here. The truth of the matter is that the early portions of Vox Machina and the later portions of Critical Role are not that mature. The idea that Laura Bailey has a 12-year-old's mind for humor is true. It's just a fact that we all have to live with. And the idea that the cast's idea of what will be funny is going to be silly and goofy and a little bit childish is 100% true. And those of us who've gotten to know Travis and Laura and these characters are going to know that that is absolutely the case. There's some very high-level humor. A lot of it, I think, comes from Taliesin, just in my opinion. He's the most deep funny of the cast, but a lot of the humor is juvenile and is silly because I think it's funny, and I think they think it's funny, and I think they want to make the thing that they think is funny be funny, and I think it works. I'm okay with it. I don't mind it very much at all. And other people talking about the pacing being fast and the characterization being basic because they're trying to get the ball rolling. This is a made-for-the-show introductory arc. I think that's super true. A lot of it is fan service, and we've had a conversation about fan service a long time ago in Symphogear, and it's the idea that fan service we usually use in the anime circle as like sexual stuff, sexy stuff, right? Like, oh, this character's so hot. We show them off like they're so hot. We objectify characters, yeah. But fan service is also things the fans might want to see. It's what could we do that would be cool in this circumstance? Okay, let's do that. That's fan service too. And I think that episode 1 of Legends of Vox Machina is chock full of fan service. And of course it is. It's a kickstarted animation that is a fan created thing that's part of a fandom that already exists. Of course it's fan service filled. And I think that the immature humor is a part of that. And I think that I'm okay with it. It's fine as it is. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about here. There were a couple of other comments that I wanted to talk about. One person asked, and I'm going to talk through this one because I think it's really important. Hasarin writes, I never had any contact with D&D. On your recommendation, probably a while ago, I assume, I tried to watch Critical Role's first campaign, but I only watched half or so of the first episode. It's fun, but it didn't interest me enough to spend so much time on it, maybe in the future. Should I start with the second or third campaign, maybe? And then there is, in the first episode, the D&D campaign, they had backstory for the characters. So I'm kind of familiar with them. The only one I properly remember is Grog. He's simple and fun. Yes, and Ale. Also Ale. It's kind of crazy that the voice actors played it in the original campaign, and now they're voicing in a professional adaptation of the same thing. Usually VAs just do their job giving their voice to random characters, but here they already have a strong connection to the characters. Super cool. I agree. I think the adaptation is all right, not mind-blowing, but fun enough to watch the whole thing with you, and maybe it will encourage me to come back to sit through the entire original campaign. Very cool comment, Hasarine. I like this one a lot, and I like you being open about how you struggled with trying to get into Critical Role. There's a huge barrier to entry for Critical Role, and it's sort of twofold. One is the episodes are like 4 hours long, and that's a problem for a lot of people. Now, for me, that's a boon, because getting to listen to hours and hours and hours and hours of content is something that I need. I crave it. I require it. But it is tough, and there's a lot going on, and you're like in media res with these characters, and you're just in situations that you don't understand, and it's weird. I've got a couple of recommendations after your question about starting with the second or third campaign, maybe. Sure. Start with a different campaign. See if it resonates with you more. See if you like it more. I think that campaign 2 is more streamlined and is easier to get into at first. And I do think that once you get into campaign 2, you'll start getting hooked on campaign 1 because you just need more. But maybe you won't. And that's fair, and Critical Role is not for everybody, and that's okay. And I think it's something that people in particular fandoms forget, is that there's sort of a twofold problem that, one, it's not the easiest content to get into for everybody, and not all content is for everybody, and two, there's nearly infinite content out there, and people are going to watch what they want to watch instead of that. But I will say this. I think that you could start with campaign 2 and be totally fine. There aren't really spoilers in campaign 2 for campaign 1, not really. So it's chill. You could do that. It's a good idea. Another thing that I'll recommend, and maybe this is heresy, burn me at the stake, but look into other actual play shows. Critical Role is not the only thing that exists in the Dungeons and Dragons or other tabletop role-playing game campaigns online. And there are various formats of those things that you can find and get interested in. I'll shout out 2 really interesting ones that I really like personally. One is Not Another D&D Podcast. If you have a podcast app or even Spotify, you can go look this up. It's called NADPod, N-A-D-D-P-O-D. And it's run by Brian Murphy and Emily Axford, along with Jake Hurwitz, who is Jake of Jake and Amir, and Caldwell Tanner, who is Caldwell of Drawfee, if those names mean anything to you. They run a really cool, really tightly written, or not written, but tightly played out, well-edited down D&D podcast campaign that you can just listen to instead of watching, and the episodes are really short, and I think that Murph's dungeon mastering style is really tight, and it's his first time dungeon mastering at the start of the campaign, so it's like, there's stuff where the characters are just getting into it, and so you can get into it too, and it ends up being really interesting, and I'd recommend that highly. I would also highly recommend Dimension 20. Start with Fantasy High, maybe something else. There are other things, Crown of Candy's really good. But Dimension 20 Fantasy High is all on YouTube, and it's all free. The episodes are, once again, way shorter than the Critical Role episodes. They're also edited, so it feels a little bit more punchy in terms of how it gets going. And I think that the style of show, where it's built to be a TV show as opposed to be an actual campaign going on, makes it a little bit more easy to grasp for other audiences. And I think that's a cool idea for some people. So check that out if you would like to. Those will be my recommendations for you on that front. Okay, and I think that's all of the comments and stuff that I wanted to talk about. Episode 1 of Legends of Vox Machina was pretty neat. I liked it quite a bit. I definitely have some problems with it. I kind of went off on some of those problems in a way that's maybe not the best, and definitely have had some conversations in the Discord that have been criticizing me for the way that I criticized it, especially around, like, the lighting stuff. I think I was a little bit off there. I think that the use of, like, three-tone shading and stuff is not that important, and I made it out to be more important than it actually is. But also, it's there in a lot of scenes in the episode where there is hard directional lighting, like the initial brawl scene and the later scenes with the fire. And I tried to include that in, like, the text commentary on screen, but maybe that doesn't come across. So I want to say it here. Sorry, I think I went too far going off on that. Sometimes when you see an art style that you're like, I don't love this, you look, or I do, I not when you do, but when I do, I'll talk about myself instead of talking in generalizations. I look at an art style and I see something that I don't super love, and I look for the reason for that, and sometimes I'll find something that is true and is something that bugs me, but isn't necessarily the reason that the art looks the way that it does. I think that the reason that I'm not a super fan of the art style has more to do with the line art and the way that that looks, and some of the color choices and the way that those look, more than it has to do with, like, one aspect of the highlighting, if that makes sense. It's more of a general issue that I have with the style than it is with, like, oh, they made a mistake here, because it's not really a mistake, it's a stylistic issue, and I just don't love it. Cool. Okay, now I think we have actually fully covered all the things that I want to cover. Let me quit out of Discord, which I was using to read stuff, and quit out of a couple of other things, just so that we're all up and ready to go, and there's nothing else running on my computer that will influence the way that things run. I find that sometimes Discord causes me to, like, drop frames in the recording, and I don't like that. So, we are here, finally, once again. Sorry for the long intro again. This one was a weirder one. I think that we're probably going to end up with consistently long intros for Vox Machina, and that's just the way that it's going to be. I can't do nothing about it. But we are here for episode 2 of the season 1 of Legends of Vox Machina. It should be good. I'm excited to see where we go from here, and I'm excited to see us bloom this story out in some of the directions that I know it can go. We've hinted at a few little fan servicey things that might be very exciting, and I hope to meet some of the other characters that I'm sure we know that we are probably going to meet sometime in the future, because that seems very fun, and I want to see how they work and operate. But I'm also just excited to hear all of our cast do more of their cast stuff and see how this show moves into the future. We had our first episode, and just like when we were back doing treasure hunts, by the way, I used to do a thing called Treasure Hunt where I would watch every episode 1 of every anime that came out every season. Bad idea. Don't do that. But one of the things that I learned very quickly while doing that is that episode 1s of shows are usually very different from the rest of the show, because you're trying so hard, oh so hard, to hook people. People won't watch episode 2 if they didn't like episode 1, so you gotta get them in episode 1. And it's pretty clear that Legends of Vox Machina succeed or fail was very much trying to do that in episode 1, to hook new people and to hook old people and to be fun and to be very exciting and to be kind of balls to the wall, and also to introduce all the characters and, you know, the songs and the bar fights and the insane stuff and the D&D logic and the dragons and all the there's so many things. I'd like it to narrow down a little bit. I'd like it to become more like a consistent story that we might expect from Vox Machina. And I'm hoping that we'll see some of that happen over the course of this next episode and the next couple of episodes. So let's go ahead and turn our attention to the episode at hand and actually find out if that's going to be the case or not. I don't know whether I'm going to like this moving forward. It definitely is sitting in that teeter-totter position where I'm on the fence on it. I'm probably going to watch it regardless because I'm excited by it and by Critical Role as a whole, but I'm in that teeter-totter position. It has the chance, absolutely, no holds barred, to win me over. And it has the chance to flop and flub and mess this up a little bit and make me fall off. let's find out which one we end up going for in episode 2 of Legends of Vox Machina. So, finally turning our attention to the show at hand, I've got episode 2 of Legend of Vox Machina up and ready to go. It is at 0 seconds. There will be probably only one version of this reaction video. I haven't had the time to get all the feedback yet around the timer thing, but I think I'm going to upload it as a timer once more, because that seems like the safest and smartest way to do this while respecting, like, the copyright. So that's what I'm gonna do. Episode 2, there will be one version of this reaction video. You can find the timer-based version right here. You're watching it. If you'd like to sync up your own copy of the episode with the timer-based version, you can totally do that. Just get your copy of Legend of Vox Machina Season 1, Episode 2, wherever you're getting that. It's on Amazon Prime, up and ready to go. It will be, I messed myself up because usually I do this, like, there were 2 versions of this video. There will be a blah blah, and now I'm screwed up because I'm doing something different. I am not a professional voice actor or speaker person. I guess technically I am. I guess technically I talk for a living, so technically I'm a professional, but I'm not professional at it at all. Obviously, listen to my mic quality. But beep beep timer. There will be a beep beep timer to count you down. Also, there will be early access on Patreon. That's the only shill that I'll do for it. Maybe another one at the end. Beep beep timer to count you down. It's coming at you right now. Beep beep timer. Let's watch episode 2. Finally. Okay, where is this? Is that Iman? It must be. It's a soldier's encampment. Hello, soldier boy. Hello, soldier girl, I think. Tell me that's actually a whetstone. Oh, there he is. The shale steps. Unknown. Hype. Multicultural. I'm gonna turn it up. True. A storm, you say? A dragon storm. Ah, the fire's gone out. Oh, very Korra. Sorry, but it's true. Oh, it's here. It's a big Durgan. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, guys. Yeah. That's not a catapult. No. No. That didn't work. You fucking joking? Zap. Yeah. Oh, that's very good looking. I like the way that looked a lot. Ah, there's the dragon fear. There we go. Yeah. 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 Oh, no. Yeah, fuck this shit. Nope. Snacks. For later. Oh. Oh, never mind. Well, we're starting off the exact same way we did before. Oh, we're OPing. We haven't. Yeah. We're OPing. Very good. Hey! It's... Fuck, what is that form name? I forget what it's called. Ah, very good. Oh, and there are references to the opening. To the original. Yeah. Good. Yep. Starting off in prison. Being sick as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, all the stuff. Sweet. I think there was something there when that light went up. What was there? I gotta go check that out again. End of OP. Ah. How'd you see it, General Krieg? How'd you escape? I didn't see you during the fight. That's weird. Ah. Setup. Blues are particularly conniving and evil. Ah, hate sink fence. Skulking. Is he supposed to be a dark elf? No. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I got weird vibes again. This fucking dark elf. He's blue. Look at him. Not a bad idea. It's super can. A little schmeary. Clang, 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 clang. And we're out. No, we're using the same exact... Oh my god. That's a great moment. That's very great. I like that a lot. Weird ranger senses. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. True, true. Totally. Of course. Of course not. Of course not, Grog. Go to where? Go to who? Oh, we're gonna try to swing a deal with Gilmore. Ah. You do that. Ah! Sorry. Totally involuntary. Ah, the purple beaded curtain! Is that actually Gilmore? Ah! Ah! Oh, he's thick. It's a sandal. And love. Oh, hello. Oh, it's fucking thick. Did not expect. I mean, because, you know. Hey, what's up? Perfect. Almost genie-esque. Oh, hey, what a throw-in. A Tusk Love, eh? With Ford and Jester. Nice. That would be nice. It's a little bit of gold. Yeah, but in like 40 episodes, that'd be great. I Uh, I don't like that line. Nope, none. Ha ha! Ho! She stabbed them a lot. Stabbed them a lot. With magic weapons. Silly. And important to know if you're going to teleport inside one. Yeah. I love the little things moving around. Mm-hmm. Hot. Ow! Ow! Ah, fun transition. Oh, we got Scanlan and Grog going out on a mission? Uh-oh! Oh no! Oh no. Nope. No. Bad. Bad Bard. You think Fence is a brothel? What? Whose cask is that? Hmm. Ha! We found him. No. Totally inconspicuous. Where is he sneaking to? He must be sneaking to become a dragon. Gonna assume it's his house. Skanky goat groper. Ham? Turkey? Mutton. Take the toothpicks out, my guy. Oh no. No, dude. We're fucked. We're fucked. Doesn't have knock yet. No. Oh god. Yep, just gonna burn. No. Where's Vax? There we go. Okay, he's gonna pick it with the toothpick. There we go. Tickly, 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 tick. No. That's not right. This is wrong. This is all wrong. No. Should have taken at least 20 more minutes. Easy. Mmm. 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 Okay. Now I know where we are. Yeah, let's do that. Looks creepy. What are you doing down here, Vince? No. Amazing. Plan seems to have come to fruition, my guy. Donutted. What's up? Hi. I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon. That's how. Wow. Yeah. Of course. Shit. True. Let's fight a dragon. Oh, well. Vax is rolling initiative, and downstairs he goes. Was that Belt of Returning, or did he just throw it? Uh-oh. Ooh, look at that rug. Look at that. Ooh, look at that poster. Scalen's gonna notice that. Ooh, snacks. No, don't split up, you fuckers. Good. Good joke. Is that the skull? Sick. Sick. Is that the skull? Oh, nope. Yeah, chromatics. Lots of chromatics. Don't. It's fake. You gotta walk through the booty. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, let's move. Boink, zoink, voink, doink, doink, doink. Pa. Okay. Hey, it's the underground cave. This is a weird place. Oh, ho, ho. Ooh, hoo, hoo. This a lair, baby. That's some juicy gold. No, no, no. Vex? Except a dragon. Don't fuck around, guys. He's here. Make your perception checks. Of course it is. Weeks. Uh-oh. You're rich if you're not dead. Oh. Oh no. Hi. Hello, green. Nope. Oh, hi. Hello, David Tennant. Dragon friend. When we... Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shape changers! Oh, they actually did a henshin! Yeah! It looks so good! Oh, now it doesn't. It looked so good! Alright. Yeah, sure. Okay. Stab it a lot. Oh. That's bad. Nice. That actually works. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Tail attacks. Oh, that looked great. Hey, big guy. like? Molten gold. That's bad. Oh. Oh, okay. That was geeky. Yep. Both. Stab it a lot. Stab it a lot. Yeah. Nope. Anybody got Earthbind? Nope. Too high level. That's not a thing. But it is more exciting this way, so I'm okay with it. Ooh, that looks good too. That looks really good. Okay. Big fan of scenes that move this way. Improvise! Classic Vox Machina. Let's go. Hi. It's a distraction. Hey? 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 Fake out. Hi. Okay. Impossible. Oh, it's all an illusion. Major image a little bit? What's up? Entangles? Guns? Entangles? Zaps? Ooh. Dex saving throw? Dex save number 2? A number 3. Oh, my big B. That was very cool. I like that a lot. Going for a cool combo attack. That's not a thing. I wish it was. I don't think Pike has Holy Weapon right now. You'll try. Finally. Love the pupils disappearing. Oh, that's so good. Mmm. Mmm. Ooh. Juicy. That was a tasty fight scene. That's a very Grog thing to do. Cleave it down the middle. Yeah, it's dead, Grog. Good job. We are rich. And famous. Yeah. Ah, teeth. No, he's not. Oh no! We must flee. Please flee. Yes. Grab gold, run fast. Portal. Grab the troll dick. Go, go, go. Yeah. What, Vax? Ah. Ah. Okay. Vax reasons for doing stuff. Covered in blood. Just covered. Yes! Who's on the council? We're on the council! Yeah. We're gonna regret that. Money. Ah. Floop. Eh? Oh! Grayskull! You have a house! Sick! Yes! Not much. Don't sell it. Super sick. A home. Nope, they won't. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye, Kiki. Oh! Interesting! Yes! And guests! Guests! We've got guests! Be our guests! Oh, hello, little boy. Little boy. Chariot driver. Desmond. My love. Hey, you got a big sword yet? Oh, he looks like Travis. Hyah! No, guys. No. My friends. My friends. How do you even sheathe that? Okay, we're not even gonna hide it. Wow. Seriously, JoJo-Z. Uh-oh. Aw, they're so in love. I love them so much. Oh, they're so great. Oh, I'm so excited. Deedly 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 dee. That's Fiend. This was a ramp up in a good way. A really good way. I'm very happy with this. Okay, there's a minute left. I assume it's just translator credits and stuff? Amazon Studios. Translator credits. Okay. Gonna stop there. Boom. I think it's a huge improvement from episode 1 to episode 2. I think the improvement is massive. And it's because we get more fight stuff. Honestly, I think that's the reason. And because we get away from some of that style of writing that feels like it has to be so dense with information for our characters, and toward stuff where we can actually let the intrigue breathe a little bit and introduce things more slowly and do the off jokes as in a more effective way, and have some of our characters like split up and get more characterization. We get a villain who really acts villainous and is excellent for us here. We get our character strategizing. We get the actual battle sequences, which I think are actually executed effectively. My only gripe with the battle sequences is the fact that it's a CG dragon, and at this point I don't mind. Especially considering that there's a full 2D like transformation turning into dragon sequence that I think looks really good. Almost reminds me of Gargoyles for some reason. But then there are all these really cool scenes of characters running toward the camera, dodging rocks coming down, The moment where the Big B's hand explodes the rock above Vax is really well done. We get these impact frames preemptively that make it feel really punchy and really good. I think the music integration is really solid all the way through. The show gets to show its stuff in this episode, and it does so, and I think it does so really effectively. All of my concerns and issues with the way that things look and the way that things feel are still there, but I feel like I forget about them as the episode progresses because it actually ends up being interesting. And so those things aren't the things that I'm focused on. I'm instead focused on what's happening and how it's happening and whether it's cool and how much fun it is. And it's fun. I think it's very fun. I do think the opening is a little bit of a retread of the same sort of vibe, but I get why they're doing it in this circumstance. It's to show the brutality of this dragon and also the plan that Krieg is putting into place, or Brimscythe is putting into place. Sorry for, I guess, spoiling that. I thought it was pretty obvious all the way through, but Krieg is, of course, Brimscythe, so he rallies his own troops against himself, then disappears from the battle, appears as the dragon, and causes mass destruction as all these people are rallied to his side. I like this. It does feel like a retread of the opening of the first episode that's like, hey, guess what? Remember, we're gonna have a gory, bloody time. But at the same time, the like emotional or characterization of it, the way that it reflects on Krieg as a character who will like rally his troops up and then crush them just for funsies is perfect. It's very draconic of him, very dragony, and clearly something that they came up with that I think works really well. This is a little bit gratuitous in terms of the violence, but that's okay. It's meant to be. It's gratuitous. It's fine. Okay, so we saw this before. There are a couple of elements that I noticed this time that I hadn't noticed before. Minxie is the name of her saber-toothed tiger form. Good old Minxie. And that looks like a big spiky boy. I forget what they're called. Yeah, it for sure is. It's a Remoraz. Remhoraz. Those things are scary. I don't know that they fight a Remoraz in Campaign 1, but it's pretty sick anyway, and the whole sequence is rad. And this kind of stuff that's like, ooh, crazy action sequence that's in the OP, you'd expect this to be higher quality than all the action sequences in the show. I don't think it is. I think it's actually pretty on par. I like this moment as well, how we've got the brother and sister fighting together, and there is like a reference here to the original opening that they did when they went, they actually went out, it's very near where I live, where they shot that. Out in the woods in the mountains, very, very near me, like within half an hour drive, they went to shoot that stuff, so it's recognizable territory. But anyway, yeah, the spin around, the throw a thing, and then the switch to the sister, she loops behind him and fires an arrow. It's all part of the whole same thing, and it's really good. And then there's this, which reminds me of Caleb in a weird way, but his reflections. Percy's whole opening section is really cool. Of course, the thread that binds them is very neat. It is, it's just a visual element to tie it all together, but it does work, and I'm okay with it. And then there was something up in the sky. Yeah, here, where the light goes up into the sky. Oh, it's like a pair of eyes looking down upon us. And then it shimmers out into all this, like, light and explosion. Interesting. Very interesting. Just thinking it through again. Okay, so Fence is our hate sink. Our characters are silly and the way they talk is great. I like that we show more of the internal politics going on between Kima and Uriel and all that stuff. I love this shot of the two guards hanging out with Trinket. It's very cute. I don't know, I don't feel like we're doing a super good job of setting up the Scanlan Trinket dynamic, but I guess it's getting there. We'll get there. And Gilmore's. So this is fan service stuff, right? We all want to see Gilmore. We all want to see Gilmore's. He's a fan favorite character for a good reason. He's damn flamboyant and he's wonderful and he loves Vax. You get who Gilmore is pretty quickly. He's got a cool magic shop and a cool magic boy. Definitely didn't think of Gilmore as that thick, but that's because of the way that everybody draws him in the fan art, and that's totally okay. I dig this Gilmore. This Gilmore is great, especially the beard bits, like the side beard bits and the little goldy beard bits and the stash and the eyeliner. Yeah, it all works. It's all good. Purple and gold, baby. Let's go. And there are lots of cool shoutouts and stuff. Tusklove, of course, being up there. There's a dragon skull back here. There's all sorts of little bits and bobs and pieces. And oh, that might be a Triceratops over there. Yeah, 20,000 for a Lance of Dragon Slaying. No thanks. But the flirtation and the idea, all very cool. The whole rivers thing doesn't matter. But that's part of the drama of things. So D&D Dungeons and Dragons, there's usually no like weak point in a creature. You can't be like, I stab it in the eye and it deals more damage because you stab it in the eye. You just stab it. If you stab it real good, maybe you stabbed it in the eye, but you just stab it. Similarly, there's no like, I stab the dragon in the neck and then it dies instantly because I know its weak point. It doesn't work that way in Dungeons and Dragons, but it works better that way for a narrative purpose because it's like, oh, we found the weak point. We discovered the thing. There's tactics in the fighting. Because the actual tactics of Dungeons and Dragons, where it's like, I move over here to get flanking, doesn't really translate in the thing. It would be dumb and lame in a piece of media. So this works fine. I don't love the whole barrel gag sequence. It's just silly to me. It falls into the realm of what that commenter early on was talking about, where it feels a little bit juvenile, and it does. It doesn't feel like it feels a little bit juvenile, but I could totally see Scanlan and Grog going on this kind of a shenanigan. We know what Scanlan and Grog get up to when they're off alone on a mission, or not on a mission. Some crazy shit happens when those two are alone. So I'm down for crazy shit to be happening now. It's great. And finally, we get to the mansion and the manor, and we have ourselves a time with a door. This is good. It's a funny joke. Those who are not familiar with Critical Role won't get it, but Vox Machina's biggest enemy in the entire world is doors. And the true, honest truth is that this scene should take about 3 times as long, and should have Vax go up with the toothpick and break the toothpick off in it, and like find somebody else's thieves' tools and go with those and break those in it too. They are bad with doors. They have bad luck with doors. It's the way it goes. But instead, I think Liam wanted his character to feel cool, and so he gets to feel cool. It's great. It works. It's fine. Ah, a spooky moment and a wonderful reveal. I think this works great. I think it's very, very good. Vince tries to tell us what's really going on and gets stabbed for his trouble, revealing the truth to all of us. Krieg is the one. Krieg is the problem. I am a fan of that bootylicious Dragonborn lass. That's a thing. But I'm more a fan of the fact that it's a warpy, wavy portal place. Super cool. Also, foreshadowing, chromatic dragons. They exist. There are many types. You have killed one of the types. There are more. There may be more out there somewhere. Who knows? So yeah, at least we know that Krieg likes his sexy dragon ladies. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And we make our way to the big cave. And of course, we're treasure hunters. We're crazy seekers of stuff. This is very cool. I don't know whose voice that is, but we know who that is. I'm not going to spoil anything. There's a creepy eye. You can think about that however you want to. It's very cool. Did we do that? Yeah, we did that. And the main thing that I want to see again is this gosh darn transformation sequence, because it's rad. Zoom. More bestial. More beastie. More beastie. Ugh. Yeah, I actually quite like the camera movements here as well. As we go to parts of the body and they expand out, it makes it feel good. It makes it feel good to me. And then, of course, we jump to the CG and it doesn't feel so good anymore. It's kind of lame. But I'm okay with it. I don't mind. Because the rest of the fight stuff that's going on is really cool. The way these characters look is great. I actually really, really like almost every scene where characters are running toward or away from camera. Characters running across frame, it's fine, it's cool. Characters moving this way and creating depth and composing things so that they feel deep and real. It's so cool. Stop, whip, flip, pop. She goes past him, zooms by, pow, boom, bang. Super rad. I like it a lot. I like this scene a lot too. I think it looks really good. And I like the way that the light is flashing on everything as we get the zappies as well. Very cool. Scanlan running toward us looks really good. Like, again, all of the scenes that work on this axis, like toward and away from me, I love them. I think they look great. And I do think that they nail the banter in combat. I think that they actually nail that, and I think that's a hard thing to do because it's weird. It's almost like when in a manga you've got characters saying like walls of text over the course of like 3 seconds of fighting. There are, the side characters are all commenting on the moves that they're making and all this shit when you realize that it was one punch exchanged on both sides. Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, that kind of thing. That's sort of the way that Dungeons and Dragons combat versus conversation goes, because you at the table have so much more time to talk than your characters do in world. But they made it feel really snappy and really fun, and I think that the character interactions, the character relationships, come out a little bit more during combat, during the tension, and I think it looks really good, and feels really good, and sounds really good, and flows really well in a very fun way. So we come up with our little plan. We all run together. We all hang out together, and this is a really good ploy. Really great use of major image. Fucking wonderful spell. Extremely powerful illusion magic. There is a problem with this, and I gotta go find my dragon card again. One sec. Oh, these are metallics. That's interesting. I thought that wasn't the case. Hold on, I gotta look something up on more official sources. Okay, for some reason I thought that at least ancient dragons, which are the old ones, the really big ones, I thought that they had true sight, which lets you see through illusions. They don't. They have blind sight. Can blind sight not determine an illusion? Because with blind sight, you can target an invisible creature, so you can know a creature's there if you can't see it. Wouldn't you know there isn't a creature there? Just wouldn't you know that there isn't? No, except at higher levels. No, major image should be able to fool all senses. It's just it doesn't help against illusions. So this would work. This actually tracks mechanically. This would work. You could fool a very intelligent, very brilliant blue dragon with a major image. I think the only issue is that they have a really high check against it. So what's the check that you make against major image? I think it's an intelligence investigation check. If it uses its action to examine the image, it can make an intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC. And they're pretty intelligent, so they're pretty good at that. But it's not perception. If it were perception, you wouldn't be able to fool this dragon. But it's intelligence. You could fool this dragon. This would work. This tracks. Scanlan doing a major image to fool a big-ass dragon, totally viable. I like the way that Kiki moves. I think that the way that she moves in this sequence is really good. The, stumble, but then finding a heroic moment is good. It's really cool. And I like the way that the whole plan feels like it comes together. We get the grasping vines for an entangle. We get Percy unloading. And we get to see the influence of that on the dragon as, oh, that's what knocks the cave down eventually. Cool. We get to see it all come together. We get to see Vax do Vax stuff. Again, this is a scene that's oriented this way, and so it ends up being very cool as we run through. I also like how he gets this slidey feel, and we slow it down a little bit in this moment. There's real momentum to it. Here, flash burst, pow. I really like the look of that. I don't know if I love the actual style, but I love the way it ends up looking. And again, this stuff, super cool. It's happening in this axis, and then we swirl around it. It's pretty rad. Get the cut, get the fire, big arrow, zappity zap, really make it feel like a big ol' smash bang team attack with Grog here to finish it off. I also really like some of the timing of these cuts. Yeah, we get that really big bounding feel from Grog here, again, in this axis. Everything that happens in this axis is cooler. But the bounding, the big leaps are very neat and very Grog, and I like them a lot. There's a lot of timing that has to go into that in terms of where the frames land and how we create this feeling of boom, and then hang time. It actually reminds me quite a bit of a scene in Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel 2, the movie. It's a weird thing to bring up, but there's a sequence that I watched over and over again when I did the reaction to that, which is where Bazaka gets prepped and then leaps into the air. And there's this whole holding back and then gathering tension and then exploding outward that makes that scene really neat to me and really cool. And this reminds me of it quite a bit. It feels really good. And then the same can be said for the timing around this, where we get the big anticipatory shot, big backswing for Grog, big lean out for the dragon, and then it all in just an instant in a frame, boom, it's just over, and it's done. And he cleaves straight through it, and it gets all crackly and poppily and great, and we're covered in blood, and we win. We did it. And so we have to escape really quick, and make our way to the Sovereign, get our reward, the Keep Grayskull, and now we are in toward material that has been covered before, which is fantastic because we meet Lord and Lady Briarwood, Silas and Delilah, some of my favorite characters, some of the fan-favoritist characters. And straight up, this is just Travis in his Halloween costume, and it's great. I like meeting them. There's no illusion to us whatsoever that these guys are bad news and a problem. Bloody motherfuckers. Scary motherfuckers. Hell yeah. Look, this is a cool episode. They nailed the fights. They nailed the big fight really well. They nailed some of the characterization in a way that I don't think that episode 1 did. All of the flaws and flubs and things that I don't love about the show fall to the wayside as I start to get more invested in the storytelling and the flow of it. And I think that they nailed it in this episode. I really do. I'd love to hear what people who watched episode 1 and were kind of like, on episode 1, think of episode 2, because I think that it really ramped up here, where episode 1 feels to me more like it's sort of a fan service filled hook thing that doesn't quite work because it's trying in a way too hard to get you involved in a thing. Episode 2 feels more along the lines of what I fell in love with Critical Role, which is the characters and the silly moments and the cool action that actually is cool. And I feel like we managed to capture some of the spirit of it way better in episode 2 than we did in episode 1. And I think that it really comes down to trying too hard to capture too much of it too soon. Critical Role is a long-form piece of media. It's not something where by watching one section where you can watch half an hour of Critical Role and get it. There's no... Over the entire run of all of Critical Role, there's no 1 hour stretch that is emblematic of all of the rest of the series, right? It's only by delving deeper into the overall experience and the feel of it and experiencing it with these people and with their characters, and as time goes on and as Matt improves in certain ways and comes up with new ideas and tells these kinds of amazing stories, that's the experience of Critical Role. And I feel like boiling it down to one 28-minute episode to start off the season wasn't possible. And I think they did an admirable job, and they tried really hard, and maybe too hard, to make that first episode be so hooky. But this is the episode that's actually hooking me. This is the one that's actually hooking me. And hopefully next one will too, as we start to get into the stuff that goes down during the feast. I think this is where we take off. I think this is way better. I think that I said at the beginning that I was starting off in a bit of a teeter-tottered position, a little bit on the fence here, that it could go one way or the other, that if it improved dramatically, I'd be in, and if it didn't, then I'd be out. I think it improved dramatically, and I think, therefore, I am in. Hell yeah! I'm excited by that. That's very, very pleasant. I like when things are good, and this thing seems good to me. Now, we'll see what happens once discussion starts up and people are all talking about it. I'm still not head over heels super in love with the show. It's not the most amazing thing that I've ever seen, but it is pretty darn cool, and I enjoyed this episode a lot more than the first one. So I hope that that is a somewhat universal experience, that other people enjoyed this episode too, because that means we can continue on and watch it and have fun, and it'll be really good. So, we're going to wrap there for the day. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Legend of Vox Machina, Critical Role's animated web series thing. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week when we will absolutely watch episode 3 and find out more about these mysterious Briarwoods and what they want from Iman. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next Friday for more. Be good to each other. Have a great day. Be kind to those around you. And is it Friday yet? I don't know. It's not. I'll see you next week for more of Vox Machina. Peace.